Although I've taught you how to save JPEGs or PNGs out a couple different ways and showed you my preferred method in a couple quests, not all of you have had enough time to practice this. So this video is to help you save for the web, and it comes from the Master Pixels quest. And in the Master Pixels quest, I give you a starter file that's 64 pixels, 8 pixels by 8 pixels. And I have the first video here in how to upsample. Now, you want to upsample because that is 8 pixels by 8 pixels. On your screen, it's going to look a little bigger. If I hit Command 0 to zoom in 12,800%, these are individual pixels. Okay? I have used those pixels to make this image and to make a lot of others. If you look on Twitter and Instagram, you can see some of the other examples. But let's say I wanted to save this image and put it on my portfolio. Okay? It's square. If it were tall and thin, that's called a portrait. The maximum height that I would use is 1500 maximum. If it were wide and narrow, the maximum width I would use, and that's called landscape, the maximum width I would use is 1920. And really, when you get down to it, to avoid confusion, I should probably be telling you 1920 by 1080. That's 1080p. That's your HD, standard HD television. The monitors, the large monitors in the room, are 2560 wide and 1440 tall. This monitor I'm on is 5120 wide and 2880 tall. So, lots of numbers to be thrown at you. So if you're working square, let's say 1500 pixels. If it's wide, 1920 pixels. You got it? So we'll say 1920 wide by 1500 tall. Your image has to fit into that window. And the reason I go 1500 is because I use that for Twitter, because 5K monitors are coming, and I want those images to be as large as possible. On Instagram, they have a limit of 1080. So I usually save out, if I think I'm going to put something on both, I save it out at 1500 if it's a square and 1080. So let's go ahead and do that. I've got a layer stack here. I've got a Photoshop document that's really complicated. I don't want to take a chance on wrecking this. So what I do is I create a new layer on top of all the other layers, Shift, Option, Command N, and then E to merge everything. Command A selects all. You can see the marching ants. Command A selects all. Then Command C would copy, but I don't want this here. This is just extra weight on this file. I don't want it. So I'm going to hit Command X in order to cut that file, and then I can hit Delete to get rid of that layer. And then save this file. So it will be the most recent file I saved, and that's important because it's going to help me name this next file. Command N to get a new document. You can see this is over 3000 pixels. So it's a fairly large image. And at 100%, this was 2880. It won't fit on my screen, and it certainly won't fit on yours. Command V to paste. Command E to merge down. Practice, practice, practice. Because you're going to do this. You're going to do this 200, 400 times this year, probably up to 1,000, for all the images you're going to save out for social media and for your portfolio. Now, I want to change the image size. Now I'm going to start with Twitter. Option Command I is the image size dialog box. Image size. And I'm going to change the width to 1500 and make sure that my resample is checked and preserve details 2.0 at 100% is active. Then click OK. Now I want to save as. I'm going to hit Command 1 so you can see 1500 pixels on mine fits. Your screen is 1440, so 1500 does not fit. But this is just fine. Shift-Command-S to save as. My top file here, if I was looking in column view, I wouldn't see it. If I go to list view and I sort by name, the names are in alphabetical order. If I sort by date modified, if I click it again, I've got old files. This started on September 12th. And then the date modified is today. That's the most recent file. Notice that it says JPEG, and depending on how you've been working, this may say PSD. I'm going to click on this to assume that name. Click after the A and type 1500. And this says, if I hit the down arrow, you're going to see it says PSD. But I want it to be a JPEG, so I'm going to click here and click one more time on JPEG. That changes the file name. Photoshop does it. You don't type it. Click OK. Oh, maximum file size, drag this out, drag it out all the way, and change this to baseline optimized. Then hit OK. Okay, so we've saved this file. Now I want to save the 1080, but I don't want to resize this because this has already been downsampled and saved as a JPEG, which means we lost some quality. It's really not noticeable to the eye, but why, in the history panel, why not get maximum quality? So I'm going to go back before I did the image size. And then I'm going to do it again. Option-Command-I, get the image size, and type 1080. And this is my Instagram-sized image. And this one, Shift-Command-S, and I'm going to hit the right arrow and type 1080. Now, I already have a 1080 JPEG sitting right here. So I'm going to put a B on the end of this one because this is a different variation of something I've already made. These naming conventions allow the files to stick together. Don't name your files ooh-ah-ooh, blah, blah, blah. Name them something that makes sense so that out in the Finder, this is a project I've been working on with Master Pixels. Yeah, look, 55 files, all built from this one little file that's sitting right here. Command 1 is actual size. And yeah, this was built out of those little pixels. And I'm going to show you how to do that. I hope to make those videos over the weekend. There you go. Save your files out. This video, come back to it. Bookmark it. This is how I want you saving the rest of the year. Understand?